Hey yo, I'm Emo-centric from Eternal Sin Rising, and I'm here with Leaving Eden.
Well, I'm sorry, but he said, it's Woodstock, man. Do you want to play or not? And I said, Woodstock.
And everyone was just like, yes!
And as I'm looking at myself, my dick got caught in the drawer. Bang! And I screamed. And I'm looking at myself screaming, and I kind of jump up, and I do it again.
You know what? You're not always going to be perfect, because who is? But you just do your best and just do it and have fun. That's it.
Hey yo, I'm Emo-centric from Eternal Sin Rising, and I'm here with Leaving Eden. Can I get you guys to start with your name and your role in the band?
Yes, I'm Eve. This is Eve from Leaving Eden, vocalist.
It's Jake on the drums.
Alyssa on the keys.
And Eric on guitars. Rick is somewhere else right now.
So you guys have been pretty busy lately. You just released your new album, Dream With Me. You guys are going to be featured in several movies, and you're about to release your own original movie, The Nitwit, right?
Yes.
Yes, we're not releasing it yet. We have one more shoot to do on it, and we have to go to Iowa for that. And we were supposed to go in April, but of course this all happened with the virus. Put a damper on things.
So, with your new album, Dream With Me, you guys have got this old-fashioned kind of artwork, and you guys have got the track titles hidden into the artwork. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Maybe what inspired it? What led you guys to do that?
Sure. I was sitting around with my buddy Dana, and we talked about it. And we're like, well, why don't we put the names of the songs in the artwork? Kind of. Some of them are, right up front. You just see them as a picture on the wall. But some of them are a little bit more discreet. You got to look for them. But every song name is in that insert there. And the physical photos were taken by Mark Weiss, who people, you guys can Google Mark Weiss. He's just like one of the best photographers in the world as far as rock and roll goes. He's done everybody from David Bowie to Kiss to Ozzy to he's got so many gold records too on his wall from the album covers that he made, because he gets a gold record for that too. So we took all those photos, and then we had the album artwork done.
I didn't even know that was going to happen until I saw it, which was like, wow, that's really cool.
And I don't know what made me think of the kind of old cabin thing. It just kind of popped into mind, I guess. I don't really know what made me think of it, but I got the vision, and so we did it. And on the back, Dan Johnson, he's another great photographer. He did the back. Sometimes we take pictures, in different poses, especially Eve, because it's always her on the album covers. And so we had her kind of like going up against a wall when he took the picture, and then we ended up using that, and the song "Let Me In," it worked perfect for her trying to get in, so it was great.
So you guys have been described by a lot of people as being really high energy on stage. Do you want to kind of talk about what goes into a show for you guys? How do you prepare, that kind of thing?
Sure. I love interacting with the crowd because we are entertainers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd is part of the experience.
And they're our friends.
Right. Like we're hanging out.
I hate to say fans. I never liked that word. I think it comes from somewhere, but I forgot where it came from. Fans. Fanatic.
Oh. So I just, I don't know. I don't like to stand still, and I get into it. You get into your zone, and you're just having fun, and it's all about fun, right? At the end of the day, you're doing what you love, and we're lucky to be doing that. But all of us, connect with the crowd, our friends, or whoever's there, and just have fun with it. We bring up kids up on stage, and that's one of my absolute favorite things to do, and that's something that they'll never forget, the rest of their lives. I went up on stage, it doesn't matter what side stage it is. It's an experience for them, and it's important. I think it's one of the most important things to do.
And there's something to be said about confidence on stage for any band. I think humans are a lot like animals, right? So they can sense if you're nervous or if you're anxious or whatever. They can sense that, and it's like a dog, And if you have confidence when you're on stage, then, well, first of all, if you don't have confidence, then people are looking for where you're gonna screw up. That's what they're looking for. But if you go up there with confidence, then they're just looking for, how great you're gonna do. So that really makes a big difference, I think.
I mean, there was we had a show with 7 Days, and I legit was tripped by our bass player, and I fell on my back on stage in the middle of singing. And he tried to help me up, and I'm like, no. I just stood up, and I'm like, you know what? I curtsied, because what else are you going to do? Get up, curtsy, and carry on. And everyone was just like, yeah! Like, people flipped out of it. I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
I remember when you kicked the beach ball.
Oh, my
God.
You kicked it
right in some, I think
my sister,
right in her
like
face.
at the back of the crowd, right in her face. I kicked the beach ball, and it went shot above everyone's head and right against her forehead. And I was just like, I couldn't even believe it. But it was fun. I mean, it's a memory that I'll never forget.
And speaking of memories, do you guys have any like really cool stage memories or experiences that you maybe wouldn't have thought possible before you started a band?
Yes, I've talked about this before. We were way up north in Maine. We're playing this benefit, this benefit concert, and we show up, and there's these 3 huge stages, lights, sound, just like incredible. Wow, this is going to be pretty good. And then the promoter was there, and he goes, that's not where you guys are playing. You guys are playing over there. And he points to this little coat rack of a stage, literally. And we're like, all right, whatever. So we'll play. And there was maybe, there was not that many people there at all. But we did our set, and we played. And then the guy comes up to me. He's like, wow, you guys are great, man. He goes, you want to play tomorrow? And I said, sure, we're here, we're staying overnight. I mean, what do you got going on? And then he got mad. And he's like, what do you mean, what do we got going on? You don't know what's going on? What do you think, all this stuff is here for you? Well, I'm sorry, but he said, it's Woodstock, man. Do you want to play or not? And I said, Woodstock, like the 90s Woodstock? He said, the original Woodstock, Jefferson Starship, Big Brother and the Holding Company. He just started naming all the bands and stuff. I said, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, man, we'll play. So.
No, but I'm going to pause you for a second because we weren't going to stay the night.
Oh, we weren't?
No.
Oh.
We had no clothes. We had nothing.
Okay.
All right? We weren't going to stay the night. So we ended up staying the night, and of course we're going to play. I slept on the floor of our van and had to scrounge clothes up, and I'm a girl, so I need makeup, and I have none of that, but whatever, it's rock and roll. And so
I gotta say though, I've been seeing what I call my spiritual advisor for years, and she's been right on, with telling me stuff. She said that I would dine with the kings, right? So, okay, that's cool. So what did we end up doing? We ended up dining with Jefferson Starship and all these bands out back, and they had tents and everything, and we're sitting right at the table, drinking and eating with them, and everybody was so cool. And to me, that was like full circle because, Woodstock, I mean, that's where it all really began. I mean, it started way before that, but where it really began, rock and roll. And here we are, getting able to, play.
yeah.
And the next day, of course, it was jam-packed, and, it was thousands of people, and we got to play on that big stage. It was just awesome.
It was pretty epic.
Over the years, you guys have played with some of the biggest names in the rock and roll scene. You guys played with everybody from Black Sabbath to Alice Cooper to Skillet to Anthrax. Were you guys ever starstruck meeting these people? Was there any names that really stood out to you guys? And was it what you expected?
I think that's a great question. The things that, like when we played with Black Sabbath, and it was with Ronnie James Dio, that's something that could never happen again because he passed away. We played with Dimebag and his brother Vinny. Both of them are gone now. And, I think we played with Johnny Poole before the singer died a long, long time ago, in the beginning. kind of things are very surreal for me because, it can never happen again. And we had that opportunity. And I got to say, most 95% of the artists that we've shared the stage with have all been so cool and so down to earth. There's been a few, I don't want to name their names, but there's been a few that were real assholes. But not that many. Like I said, maybe 5% of them all.
Well, for me, sharing the stage with Steven Tyler and getting to meet him, and he was just a cool guy, just like you can hang, That's what people don't understand. They're just human, man, and they have an amazing talent and are able to share it with millions. And that was a very cool moment. He was just a really, really nice guy.
I also think that with this whole coronavirus thing, it's kind of leveled the playing field, so to speak, because you see these big superstars in their kitchens or at their house, and nobody's out on the road playing or anything, and they're just like you and me, and it kind of brings it back down, I think, to a level playing field for any artist,
Yeah. So you guys are going to be featured in 5 movies, I think it was. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Maybe what led to that coming about?
Well, that's all, Eric. That happened. You.
Well, it's through our record label, Darkstar Records, and we have worldwide distribution through Sony and Universal, and we got all the big hitters for, the movies and stuff, and our stuff that goes on Amazon Prime, with MVD and The Orchard. So we got all that, and we were in Arizona, and I got the call from Jeff from the label, and we weren't that far from California, so he said, well, why don't you go down and meet this director, Max, and they were doing a movie, Lockdown. It was about a jailbreak. And he said, why don't you guys record Jailbreak for the movie? I'm like, well, that's cool. So we went down, we met, we hung out and stuff, and we got the movie. So we went from there, so we went from Arizona to California, back to Boston, then to Chicago, and we recorded a song with Johnny K, who, by the way, to me is the best record, dude in the world, because he did Disturbed's Sickness and so many other bands. So we got to do that, and then it was all done. It was great and everything, and then we ended up not being able to get that song in the movie. So we got our song Out of the Ashes in the movie instead, and we were still able to release that as a single, and they got the license for us. But then that just, you get one thing, and then you end up getting another, and another, and another.
The relationship,
I guess it's like any business, if you're an electrician or a plumber, it's word of mouth, and one thing leads to another. It's pretty cool how that works out.
And you guys are also working on your own movie, The Nitwit. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's a reality comedy, a fake reality comedy. So I ended up writing this movie script, and it's based on true stories that have either happened to me or someone very close to me. But everything is true, and so we adapted it to the movie script, the script, I guess. And we had a music in a TV series, and we were in Chicago, and we were shooting for that because we were going to be in it. And so the production crew, we ended up going back to their house in Iowa, and we were having some scotch, and I had the script with me, so I threw it down on the table, and they started reading it, and Razor, they loved it. Matt, they really loved it, and they were just laughing nonstop. They said, we got to make this movie, and you're going to be the director.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, cool. I mean, I've done a lot of music videos and stuff, so it fell right into play. And we did it. We got the label to get behind it, and here we are. They actually ended up coming to Boston to shoot a few scenes so that we could get a bunch of our friends also in the movie as well. And we did most of the stuff down in Iowa. And like I said, we were supposed to go there in
Chicago.
Yeah, did we do some in Chicago too?
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know. You know what? It's actually because of this whole pandemic thing. The schedule has been delayed a little bit because we were supposed to finish up in April, right? Shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have been all done with it. So, but that movie, it's basically two guys, a washed-up actor and a new actor, and they don't know that they're being filmed the entire time. They're told by the agent that they're a shoo-in, but they got to do a bunch of stuff just to go through the motions and make sure, a lot of tasks, a lot of little things that they got to do, exercises, so to speak. But the whole movie is them doing all these things and these exercises to try out for the movie. Little do they know. So, they see like helicopters around, and they see these people in suits and glasses, and they don't know who these people are. They're watching them, and one guy's like, "Oh, he's just being paranoid," But it's so funny that you couldn't write this stuff. You couldn't write this stuff if you tried. So yeah, one of the scenes again. This is how they're adapted. So me and Eve, we were watching a movie, and she said the surround sound's not working. It's not working, on the stereo from the TV. I said, all right. So I was in my boxer shorts, and I got up and I go to check it out. Well, she had these candles that were lit
they
up
smell
there
good,
for hours.
Nice candles.
And I hit the candle with my arm, and it fell over, and it fell on my chest, all the hot wax on my chest. I'm like, ah! So I have a big mirror on my bureau, so I go run up to the bureau because it's all red, and I want to see, what it did. And when I did, the drawer was open, and it's one of those drawers that goes really easily, but it's a heavy drawer, but it travels very easily, almost like on ball bearings. And I hit that, and as I'm looking at myself, my dick got caught in the drawer. Bang! And I screamed. And I'm looking at myself screaming, and I kind of jump up, and I do it again, because the thing came open again, and then I did it again. And then I screamed again, and I ran out in the kitchen. And it was actually, my mother was there, too. And I look at my dick. I'm sorry to be vulgar here, but and it's like completely purple. I couldn't believe it, and I'm like, we gotta go to the hospital, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop you there because people have to see the rest of it. It is. I had tears running down my face when this actually happened, but this is an actual scene that we did film in the movie, and they did an epic job with it. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah, actually, that scene is in the movie trailer.
Yeah, it is.
Not the whole scene, but
I'm going to stop you there because the hospital is good, too.
yeah, man.
I'm just trying to imagine what you had to tell the doctor for that one.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to tell it anyway. So,
all right, tell it.
So we walk in, right? We go to the hospital. Now, I'm walking very slowly. She's me and her. And I walk up to the girl, a pretty girl behind the desk, and I said, I slammed my penis in a drawer. And she said, excuse me? And I don't want to be loud in front of her. I said, I slammed my penis in a drawer. And she just put her hand over her mouth, and she starts laughing uncontrollably, right? So she goes, wait a second, hold on. And then she goes out back, and then she comes back, and she says, all right, come with me. So as we're walking through the back in the emergency room, I notice that everybody's laughing as we're walking by.
They're watching you.
I said, why is everybody laughing? And I realized she told everybody. Getting the doctor, and the doctor comes in. I said, man, you get a pin, you got to pop this. It's like a blood blister. You got to pop it, right? And he said, no. He said, think of a sponge, a sponge filled with water. If you take a pin and you put it in, no water's going to come out. It's like a sponge. He said, it'll go away.
You're bruised.
But it was scary, man. It was scary. But yes, it happened to me not once, but twice.
So for each member of the band, if you had to vote to kick somebody out, who would it be?
No!
Me.
No.
Well, it is my birthday today, so I hope it's not me.
Happy birthday, Jake.
I can't, no. I can't vote anyone. I'm not voting anyone. It's me. I'll leave. No. How can you ask something like that? Do people really pick somebody?
Sometimes.
That's too funny. I'm not picking.
So if you guys had to go back to when you were first starting this band and give yourself some words of encouragement or advice or anything like that, what would you say?
Well, I'll start.
Go
All
ahead.
right. I would say watch out for the snakes, because there are so many snakes in this business that will take your money and literally not do anything. And what are you going to do? You're going to sue them? You know, I mean, they could be somewhere across the country or across the world, for that matter. And there's nothing you can do. So you got to learn from your mistakes and really be sure about how you're spending your money. I mean, I'm not going to, go beat somebody up. I'm not going to go to prison for, taking things in my own hands. So I believe in karma, and I've seen it, and it's tenfold. I've seen it happen to people, and it's very sad. I don't wish, even someone that really screwed me terribly for a lot of money, I still don't wish anything on them. But, it happens, and it's a sad thing. But I do know that, things get taken care of without you having to do anything about it. And you got to just learn. You got to learn. You got to learn from it, because if you don't learn from it, then you're going to make the same mistakes over and over again. And then people might say, well, then, how are you going to, believe in anybody? And that's a true statement. So you really got to decipher, who are the snakes and who aren't. And I mean, believe me, I dealt with people that have a track record, a really good track record, and they still screwed us completely. I mean, literally did nothing for us. So that's why I pretty much manage the band and take care of all that stuff, because I've yet to find somebody that can really take those reins and put as much into it as I would. So that's my thing. What about you?
Me, I think for me, when I first started, I used to be insanely nervous. Every show, didn't matter what show it was. Used to just really get in my own head, and years go by, and you build your confidence, and it's you got to have the talent, but it's I'd say 80% confidence is knowing that you got this. And when I was recording, when we were in Chicago with Johnny K, something that he said really just stuck with me. And he said, I don't want to be here all day doing vocals. So if you're going to do it, do it. And that was huge, because he's right.
Didn't he tell you to put assless?
Oh, no, that was another, I didn't know Jailbreak. I mean, I've heard the song, but I didn't know it.
Yeah, because we literally, as I told you, the label said we'll record Jailbreak, so we learned it in Arizona, and then after we went to California.
But he did that to totally piss me off, because he said to me, you know why? We need to send you around the world with only assless chaps to get some balls. And I'm like, what? And he did it to totally piss me off, because I think the next take I had balls, right? Because I was like, yeah, well, F you, I'm going to do this. There you go. So just do it. I'm feeling Nike. Just do it. Just do it. You know what? You're not always going to be perfect, because who is? But you just do your best and just do it and have fun. That's it.
What about you, Jake?
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with Eve here. As with her, I was always nervous playing out. I'm just going to say, don't be scared. It's all right. And use a metronome.
Great advice. Practice with a metronome as much as you possibly can.
Click, the click.
So that you lose it. You actually lose it, and you become one with it. Anything else there?
It's just key to being a good drummer, I would say. About it.
Alyssa?
Know your scales. Because then he'll be like solo in G major, and I'm like, oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, because we'll be jamming on stage, and she's like, solo, go.
Yeah.
That's all good information, I think.
So we have a lot of new bands on the site that are, maybe they've been together for a year or a few months or less than that. And you talked about the snakes a little bit. Do you want to kind of give some advice as to how a band would spot these snakes, and how to know whether or not an offer is genuine?
Yeah, and I could say, well, make sure you have a contract, but contracts were made to be broken, and it could end up costing you more money to try to litigate something, um, than it would be worth doing. So, just do the background checks, maybe, get referrals instead of just blindly, looking for people.
And when it comes to money, you have to be vigilant. Is that the word? Yeah, vigilant, and stay on top of people too. You have to really manage your business.
Yeah, and I would say for these bands that are just starting out, one, there's a couple things. Attach yourself to a band that's been out there doing it, and try to play some gigs with that band, because that's how we try to, so often we try to have opening bands play for us, and then we'll make sure the owners are there at the venue and that they're watching them, and if they can get their own gig after that, if they do good enough, then that's great. What was the other thing?
Play, not just in your basement.
Yeah, so many gigs. There's so many opportunities that could be missed. You travel 5 or 6 hours to a gig, you're not getting paid, and it's a shitty gig, and you say, well, why am I going to do? I'm not going to bother doing it. This is crazy. But for us, some of those gigs ended up being the best gigs ever, and the best that created opportunities because we happened to meet somebody that was able to help us on those shows. So our motto is to play anywhere, anyhow, anyway, so long as we can. And it really has led us to some great opportunities, I think. Get out of the basement, take those gigs. Don't even worry about money at first, because, it's like, again, I go back to the electrician or to the guy in the studio, the coffee runner. He was a coffee runner at first, and then he got some tasks to do, and then he ended up, after 20 years, became a great record producer. Everybody's got to pay their dues, and people don't like that, but it's the reality of any kind of business, to pay your dues. And we certainly have paid our dues.
The research. And then sometimes, you know what? A lot of it, too, is go with your gut. When it comes to the snakes,
yes.
Go with your gut.
Yes.
Whatever your gut is telling you is the truth.